much. Okay, class, basically, once we talk about the reincarnation, remember the wheel of the reincarnation in the previous lesson, meaning to say that when you start to reincarnate, you can be from a place with the great suffering to the less suffering, and it could be from the less suffering to the great suffering. Now we begin with the hell in the first place. Basically, the monotheism, they all believe there's a hell. Okay, even though, I mean, they just believe that they just have present life and the future life. So in future life, either they will be with the God or they will be in the hell. So that's the reason why they will work harder in order to please the God, and so that they will always stay with the God. Okay, so it makes them very vigorous, and also you can create more terrorism or the fanatic, okay, especially those who try to bomb themselves so that they can be over with their God, because they just believe. The choice not much. Whereas for Buddhism, we believe there's a reincarnation, but we also believe that we have so many future life. So meaning to say that you can feel that it's not that urgent for you, all right? So you just so we hardly to see a Buddhist go to bomb people. For better next life. Why? Because we got so many next life, so it's not necessary go to bomb yourself and bomb other in order to get a better place. Okay, so that is the perception fundamentally different. But when we talk about the hell, basically for all religions they believe. Okay, and most of the time people believe it even though they don't see it. Okay, and once people they don't why? Because hell is a very good safeguard the eternity of the people. If you believe hell and you worry for being fall to the hell, then you will behave yourself. So meaning to say that hell play roles to safeguard the eternity of the realm of within the human realm. Okay, then let's take a look. If you try to Google human the hell, so you see so many pictures. In Buddhist study, basically health is quite common, and most of the people believe, especially in Di Zhang Jing. Di Zhang Jing is a sutra which is so common within our Chinese Buddhists. And yet, this is very common in Chinese Buddhists, and yet, even though people, they don't see it, but they believe it. Especially for the eight health, eight great health. Eight great health is named according to their situation. Okay, for example, you see some hell with full of fire, so some hell they will try to cook the people. Okay, and some hell we can see that it seems like for frozen. Let's see first of all. Some hell, okay, they go try to. They have been killed. I mean by the maybe an executor here, and then from some hell we can see it looks cold. All right, some hell look hot, and we can see in the hell there will be one judge here to scrutinize them. So there's a different hell we can see from the picture. Okay, so this is the hell. The people naked because due to different offenses. Okay, so meaning to say that if you commit different offenses, you will fall with the different hell, which is in accordance to your offenses, and the suffering also goes according to your offenses. So this is the hell we mean. Okay, but sometimes people, they will interpret that hell is something in your mind, because we can hardly show you where the hell is it, even though just not according to the text that say the hell might be at the bottom of the cluster, the crust of the earth. But I don't think you are able to see the hell even though you explore below the crust. Why? Because we are different frequency with the hell. Basically, in order to fall to the hell, you must have the same frequency with them. Okay, I think nowadays, the person who able to see the hell, number one, is the bodhisattva. Second, if they are the human, like you and I, they must open the heaven eye, third eye, so that they are able to see the hell. Okay, so far, the case regards to reincarnation, we haven't discovered that people who come from the hell, and looks quite impossible, because they're full of suffering there, and it's impossible for them to come to tell you that, oh, I come from the hell. Basically, no. Basically, people can tell you that, oh, I'm reincarnated. They must be from human before, because humans have the wisdom to tell you the things. Whereas all this hell, people in the hell, after suffering a lot, after finish paying the debt, the suffering, basically they will reincarnate to the less suffering level, which is hungry ghosts. Okay, so that is the hell we mentioned. Well, basically, can you put up your hand if you believe there's a hell? Can you put up your hand? Okay, Guan San, SJ, okay, Sally, Amanda. Okay, SJ, why do you believe the hell even though you don't see it?
No, always hear from my mom.
How
Always hear from my mom.
Oh, so after much hearing from your mom, then you believe. It's too frequent already. Talk about hell, then you believe already.
Yeah.
So that's you have been brainwashed by your mom. Okay. So even though people that don't see the hell, some because they've been brainwashed, but some because due to the trust to the sutra, the trust to the sutra. So because they believe that most of the sutra is mentioned by Shakyamuni, so indirectly they trust it. Okay. Anyway, those trust the hell, they will behave better than those that don't believe. The reason is because by worrying, falling to the hell, you behave well. But of course, this is not the best intention for behaving yourself. If you behave yourself, but with a different reason we mentioned later on, it's better than you worry for being fall into the hell. Okay, get it? So now we go to the next destination, but we have to finish the sentence in the first place. Okay. Okay, yes, Yongsi, can you please read it out?
All these hells have two characteristics. They all have raging fires, and the beings within them suffer from contacts with molten copper and iron similar to magma. Those who have done evil suffer from all kinds of torture, from various red-hot metals, iron floors and walls, iron throws and heels, iron pans, plates and knives, iron hammers, chains and cords, iron nails, coals, tongs and pellets. The second characteristic of the great hells is that the being within them have large bodies and long lifespans. For example, in the uninterrupted hell of the lifespan, it's a medium kalpa. The most painful thing in this hell is not that these beings want to live but cannot. It is rather that they want to die but cannot. Before the karmic force comes to its end, no being in hell can die. Even after they turn into ashes, they are reborn. This is the place of retribution for those with the most wicked offenses. The second group of hell is that of the peripheral hells, which are also called the hells of increasingly worse suffering. These are on the peripheral of the 8 great hells, each of which has 4 doors leading to 4 different hells. Since each great hell has 4 doors opening to 4 hells, there are 16 hells adjacent to each great hell, or adjacent to 8 great hells, a total of 128 hells. When the being in the 8 great hells have finished their suffering there, they must pass through all 4 of the peripheral hells behind each door. The suffering increases from one place to the next, which is why these hells are called the hell of increasingly worse suffering. The 4 kinds of peripheral hells are: first, the hell of hot ashes, a glowing hot pot filled with ashes. Second, the hell of corpse feces, a manure pit inside of which there are worms with sharp mouths similar to maggots. Third, the hell of sharp weapons, which consists of roots covered with knife blades, forests with sword-like leaves inhabited by fierce dogs, and forests of iron thorns inhabited by big birds with iron beaks. Beings in these 3 places suffer from injuries caused by the knives, swords, and animal bites. And fourth, the hell of boundless river, a river of boiling ash water that fries being like beans in hot oil. The third category of hell is 8 frigid hells. They are said to extend from the 8 great hells at the center of the earth outwards to the earth crust, or to be near the encircling iron mountains that are at the peripheral of the world on the earth's surface. These hells are said to be out of reach of the sun's and moon's light, so that they are incomparably frigid. Thus, it may be that these frigid hells are located at the north and south poles.
Okay, thank you so much. Your turn, Jing Jue, the 8.
The 8 frigid hells are named according to their characteristics. They are called the hells of blisters, bristling blisters, Atata, Hahava, Huhuva. These last 3 are renamed after the sound uttered by being exposed to the cold: blue lotus, red lotus, and great red lotus, named according to the color and the cracks in the skin that the cold has caused. Lifetime are long in these hells as well, and they are unbearably painful. They are described as incomparable frigidity penetrating to the bones and making the whole body shiver and curl up. Worms appear after hundreds of blister bursts, chewing and scratching on the body's fat and marrow, and causing dripping sores. The cold makes the teeth chatter and the hair stands to the end and distress the eyes, ears, throat, and all the body parts. None are spared. The union of body and mind is extremely confused, so that living in the frigid hells is suffering to the utmost. The fourth category of the hell is solitary hell, which are hells in the human world. They may be anywhere in remote mountains or on island or in wide open spaces or in deep forests. In each life, only 1 or 2 beings whose individual karmic forces have brought them to these solitary retributions. Recently, a newspaper reported that somewhere in Taiwan, a father had abused his own daughter, locking her up in the dark room without any ventilation or sunshine. She had lived for 15 years with neither enough food nor warm clothing and had the appearance of an undeveloped child. Not only was she pale and swollen, she did not even look human. The karmic forces of sentient being are inconceivable. In the prosperous and busy place in the middle of the city, a person can exist in isolation, suffering from such heavy retribution. This situation is probably close to existence in the solitary hell. These four groups with their 18 hells are the worst place of suffering for sentient being. Before being emancipated from birth and death, everyone has the possibility of falling into them. Everyone, therefore, shall have great fear of such places and not perform evil deeds.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, class, basically, I think we seldom read the article regards the Naraka, the hell. So today we open our eye, we understand, oh, the hell, they've got 4 great hell, 8 great hell, and then later on the door with another hell. So you multiply, got so many hell, and with the different circumstances, they name differently. But anyway, okay, basically, it is not good for us to threaten people with the hell. Not that good because the person behave well, they should be based on ethic. They want, they hope, it is the good intention. We hope people, we want to give the happiness to people and reduce the suffering of somebody. That's the good intention. I mean, for behave well. We always think for other people. But anyway, if let's say the target is the gangster, sometimes you talk to the gangster that, oh, you should observe the 5 precepts, you should think about the good of the people. The gangster will say you are naive. Basically, in order, or you really want to tackle the gangster, you have to use the hell. But sometimes if they don't believe the hell, they might not feel threatening. They don't feel frightened. Okay. So make sure that if you talk about hell, you must use to the right target of the people. I remember I was invited to give a dharma talk in a school, but the school, there's a lot of gangsters in the school, you know. The school is somewhere near Elena, the place, you know. There's, Form 3 student got, some students already got pregnant already. So after some investigation, they claim that some of the parents they're involved in prostitution, for drug trafficking, all these things, you see. So that's why once I first, in my first time to give the Dharma talk, I tried to ask them for being good. So I noticed that all of the kids from the eye, you will notice that they are the boss. Everyone is the boss, you see. I thought maybe I just want people for me to tackle, but finally the school, they put all the active gangsters in one classroom to me. So after 3 lessons, I'm done already. Why? Because they've got frightened with nobody, you know. You just want to control the class, you already feel exhausted. Even though they are just maybe Form 3, but I found that, yes, they will think that you are naive. You will say you have to behave good. So remember, I put one video clip regards abortion, you know. So the process of abortion, they put, the clip inside to the vagina, then just try to, and then try to trap, the baby out, you see. So this thing, this will be attractive to them. By playing this movie, then they will pay attention. Then the rest, you talk about how you should be nice to the people. All is nonsense for this school. Okay. But anyway, this is my first time, and also it's my last time. I'm not suitable to give the lecture. I think it's good. There must be some people have with the previous record. Maybe you are the gangster before, you know very well how the gangster behave, and maybe you can bring them to the jail to see how is the canning process. That will frighten them. Okay, so this is something because once we talk about the hell, but anyway, sometimes the people want to prove the hell. So remember the one story. There's one people he insisted, I think no hell. Okay, so can you prove it? He asked the monk. So the monk immediately said, "You look so ugly. I think no people like you." Well, immediately he feels so angry. So the knife is somewhere there. So he just tried to put up the knife, not the knife. Okay. So the monk said, "Okay, the hell is in your heart already now." So immediately he realized, oh, this is wrong already. So he put down the knife. Then the monk said, "Oh, now you are away from the hell already. You are human again." So sometimes we interpret that the hell is within your heart. It's within your mind. Because quite hard people to really see the hell. Okay. All right. So this is regards to hell. Okay. Now we'll go to the second is the hungry ghost realm. But before this, you remember just now I showed you the picture. There's a judge in all the hell, right? According to the Buddhist scripture, we don't believe this. Okay. It is not available in our scripture. But just to know why, I discover some people who are able to travel to the hell, once they come back, some are Taoism, some even is the Buddhist, Thai monk, they claim that yes, they saw, the executor, and come to bring them. So I think maybe they reveal some truth also, even though it is not available in our text. Because different religions, they have a different way to understand the hell. Okay, so I think there might be some truth, even though it is not available in the Buddhism text. So that's what I feel. Okay, next I will go to let's see. We go to the animal in the first place. Okay, so maybe we can have a discussion in the first place. You think as an animal, suffering more or joy more? If you agree suffering more, please vote number 1. If you think animal with greater joy, the joy greater than the suffering, you can vote number 2. According to your observation, 1 or 2, suffering more or joy more? It is not no trade. 1 and 2. Okay, Guan San 1. Most people choose 1, but you also choose number 2. Okay, yeah, okay. All right, so please put down your hand. Okay, some people they abstain. Jun Jie and Elena abstain. Okay, all right. Okay, so Sally, can you create an example why you say they suffer more as animal?
I said there's suffering and there's joy, both.
Same. You mean both the same?
Both is the same.
Okay,
because it depends on where you are. You have been adopted into.
Okay.
If you are in a rich family, then you may have joy. But if you are from stray animals, you may not be so happy.
Okay, so Guan, you mean more suffering? What's your facts?
Because I think for them to have basic things like getting food, getting shelter, so not easy already.
Yeah,
Each type of animal, I think it's not that easy for them to get food. Or even if let's say they are injured, right? How?
Yeah.
This is what I think.
Especially the stray dog. And then one thing we can see quite obvious is as an animal, if let's say you become the animal, all right? Okay. So for example, if you if you're unlucky, you're reborn in Africa, then you will become the target for the trophy hunting, you see. So basically all this country, all this hunter, they will pay more than 10K, 20K, or even much more in order to kill the animal with a bigger size, you see. So so you are quite unlucky if you reborn in Africa, something like that. Okay. So Gamling, what are the suffering? Can you mention for the animal?
Their life may be short, some few years only, or what, or some are very short life lah.
You mean short life is equivalent to suffering? So long life is equivalent to joy?
So like, yeah, like if you depends on where you're born to lah, or you're hunted, or you say like ants or some insects and all that. Also, a very short cycle only.
So cycle means suffer. Have you ever talked about? Have you ever communicated with the ants? And never say he's suffering. You see, you feel he suffer only, right? Okay, well, I know you try to convey some facts, but because someone suffer, we can see from an animal. For example, in the circus, class, the circus. Yeah, in circus, we can see some animals in the circus. Basically, some torture involved in the circus. Why? Because if you are a tiger, are you going to jump the fire ring or not? You wouldn't, right? It must be under training, right? So along the training, there must be some torture. So that's why for the environmentalists, they will try to protect and urge and try to urge us that don't go to don't go to wash the circus. Just hope that more animal will be relieved from the suffering. Okay. Then what else? Yes, just Amanda, what are the suffering you would like to mention to the animals?
No freedom.
Mm.
They will have, yeah, no freedom on that, and they don't even have a conscious about if their life is threatened by danger. Don't know. Yeah.
You see a class, if you really travel, for example, you see her. If really travel to certain places, then they will have like if in Dunhuang, you can have a camel riding. If you go to Yunnan, you also can have some donkey riding. Basically, during the peak season, they are very tired, but they don't have time to rest. As an animal, you can't control your life. I mean, especially if you're reborn in this tourism industry, you just keep on being used up. So that's why in Buddhism, some they say that the outcome, why you become a human, maybe partially because in the past life you do some stealing. Once you steal something in order to pay back, you see, this type of the fate it seems like they are trying to pay back, and you don't have room, you don't have opportunity to say no. You just keep on, just serve me, and if you don't want to do, so people can you see. If in this tourist spot but anyway, some people also suggest animal will enjoy something, right? Okay. Yes, Yong Xing, you think what's the joy as an animal?
I think by nature they are more joyful.
Major?
By nature.
By nature, for example?
Like in the morning you see the bird like chirping, and then you see the dog. It's like naturally they are more loving, lovable.
Yes, I think you enjoy because I think you enjoy by watching the animal, but not the animal themselves claim that they enjoy, right? You see, as a bird, if I'm a bird, I will say, yes, I've got a lot of freedom about when I fly to the sky and worry for the eagle also. Eagle anytime can catch me, am I right? And then human want to catch me again and put me in the cage. I just sing, we get the catch. You see or not?
Just don't come near to human.
Yes, due to the human, you see. And then one more animal, I think maybe people used to cook them, who is with the best merit. So that is panda. So I remember the cost to breed a panda is about 20 million. We add up everybody here. I don't think we need 20 million to breed all of us until we die, right? But the panda one, they have to spend 20 million for them. So why this thing will happen? It's very rare, this animal. Well, it's very cute. Yeah, I like panda also. I feel them very cute also. But for animal themselves, we call it they are in the stupidity. Because we never see panda go to do meditation, right? We never see them. They don't smart, they're cute, but they don't look smart, you see. So we need to say, okay, they're hungry, they just eat until fat. Then if let's say, okay, so the whole world just try to observe them, whether are they successfully to give birth a new baby or not. Oh, the whole world concerned over it. But the panda doesn't know. Am I right? The panda doesn't know. Just you all feel that they are precious and cute. So you all, feel enjoy watching them, you see. But their nature, by nature themselves, they are not smart. They don't really understand all this. You see, not you give whatever you give, so they just eat. Okay. Once they don't have opportunity, for any living, so they're just extinction, and you see. Okay. Yes. Why Jing Jue you abstain? We talk about the suffering and the joy for the animal.
It is too complex.
Too complex.
I don't know whether they are enjoying or not. But I think generally, if I look at my dog, I think my dog is happy.
Okay,
I ask the same question. If I ask the ant, would the ant say they are happy or not? Probably they do not know whether they are happy or not. So that's why they are happy, because they don't know they are happy or sad.
No. Because maybe we have to define basically for the animals, whether they get the joy. I think the dog will reflect. because their intelligence is to the stage to reflect and enjoy. I breed the dog before, so we can feel that the dog always, once they know you are the master, so the master pamper them. Okay, you touch this area, they will enjoy. We can feel it. But at ants, I don't think so, because the intelligence not that high to have the feeling. Because these type of really low level animals, they are about like something. Without living. You can consider them very low. They totally don't have intelligence. Basically, if the structure of the brain, we decide how smart they are and how much the feeling of them. So that's why people will say chimpanzee and also a dolphin, they're very smart animal. It's due to their brain structure and due to the behavior also. And from the behavior, we can feel that, they feel the joy or not joy. But basically, we can summarize that most of the animal, they suffer more than the joy. The way we see it, I could so many examples. But of course, some animal, they really have the joy, especially in a good family. But the same as a human, not all the human is joy, right? If you're reborn in Syria now, always with the war, they don't know where is the breakfast, you see. Even though you're a human, you don't as good as them. They are bad, they are quite worse also, you see. They're even worse than the animal, maybe the stray dog in Malaysia, possible, I see. So I said it is complicated, but generally, no matter how good they are not as, they wouldn't, not like a human, you see. Once our stomach had been filled, we have got the shelter, then we start to develop our culture. We never see any animals start to develop their culture. It is correct. So this is quite clear. We can know that. So in animal, we also define them to suffer more than more than the joy, the way we see it from a greater picture of the view. Okay, so we go to the text. Okay, some people ask, how about the turtle? Well, turtle actually basically they're also not very high intelligent animal, not very high intelligent. So basically maybe joy or not joy. If they're hungry, they just eat Well, once time's up, they start to produce offspring, to reproduction. We can't not very clear that to say that how they feel. But basically, if you talk about their freedom, they always, if they met the human, we are the one who can decide the destination, right? If they met us, you see. So compared the, if you are not the animal, if you're a human, you have more rights for yourself. Basically, if you compare for most of the animal. Yong Xin, yes, any question? Yes.
But suppose, so you are saying that like more higher intelligent animal like human are able to choose, right? Then should we have less suffering?
Not really. We will talk about human later on. Just next one is the human. Okay, so we talk about later on the human. Okay, I know maybe you have the questions. We can discuss there. Now we try to go through the facts. Why we define the animal suffering more than the joy. Okay, yes, Guan San, can you please read it out? Okay, they are all different kinds of animals.
They are all different kinds of animals, but all experience similar sufferings, being preyed upon or being enslaved. The suffering in the destiny of animals affects all the beings in the animal kingdom except human beings. Animals' appearance, colors, dwellings, living activities, and lifespans are all different according to the Buddha Dharma. Animals are grouped into the footless such as earthworms, the two-footed such as birds, the quadruped such as beasts, and the multiple-footed such as bugs with 6, 8, or more feet. As for their dwellings, all animals originally live in the ocean and later move from there to different places, some onto the land and some into the air. There are also animals like the amphibians that live both in the water and on the land. Some animals live both in the water and on the land and in the air as well. The differences is in their intelligence, lifespans, and their mode of enjoyment are great. For example, some of the pleasure of the dragons, the Garudas, and so forth are even better than those of humans. In general, however, this evil destiny is very miserable. The sutra says that because bird and beast have different minds, they have different appearances. This has partially been proven by recent research. For example, it has been found that some birds' eyes activate their visual conscious to differentiate between the color green, red, and purple. Thus, the feathers on their bodies also have these colors. If they cannot differentiate between such bright colors, then their feathers are gray and dull yellow. Another example to prove this point is the protective coloration of insects. Some of them look like branches or dried leaves. This is simple because they have always inhabited such environment. The constant influence of their environments on their minds has in turn influenced their physiological system and their colors.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, two more paragraph. Yes, Amanda, can you please read it out?
The oppressing suffering in the destiny of animals is caused by their cruelly killing and preying upon one another. The big fish eats the smaller fish. A large insect eats the smaller one. A spider builds a web in the corner of the house just to catch and kill flying insects. Frogs and birds swallow insects, and their appetites are amazing. Even a small insect hidden beneath the bark of trees can be eaten by woodpeckers. Ants like to eat others' insects, yet they themselves are the sole food eaten by ant-eaters. Even the king of the dragons has the misfortune of being preyed upon by the Garuda. Humans also have the evil habit of killing and eating animals. For the sake of their skins, furs, teeth, and horns, people kill large numbers of animals and give it the fine-sounding name of production. The world of animals is really a slaughterhouse. They are constantly killing each other and being killed by humans. In addition, animals like cows and horses are restrained, whipped, and enslaved by humans. They are completely without any independence. The suffering of the animals is second only to that in the hells. One day, when Sakyamuni Buddha was the crown prince, he went to the fields to observe farming. He saw the farmers working very hard at plowing, whipping their oxen to the point of bleeding. The blood dripped to the soil where worms quickly gathered. After the field was plowed, the worms were eaten by the birds. When the prince saw all the suffering, killing, and devouring amongst animals, he felt great compassion for sentient beings. He made his great vow to leave home and their religious practice. Ordinary people not only have no such awareness or sympathy for sentient beings, they even eat them. How differently are they from animals?
Okay, thank you so much. So I think the text concludes our discussion also at the same time. Okay, class, let's take a look. So basically, the way we see the suffering of the animal is due to for being enslaved and also for being killed. And even though without human being, animals themselves will mutually kill each other for survive. Okay, so that's the realm of an animal. All right. Then one more point is regards to Shakyamuni. So Shakyamuni, during his time as a prince Siddhartha, his childhood, so he watched, through the observation, he noticed that the animal mutually killing to each other. Okay, so he realized there's a suffering, so he started to contemplate and meditate. So later, this is one of the causes why he left the home and want to find a way to, to relieve them, to release himself from the suffering. So you see, Shakyamuni is a human, we also is a human, but the observation of all the things will inspire him to leave the home, to become a monk. But most of us, after observe, we watch so many documentary, but we end up nothing. But of course, we can conclude that that is the animal realm, basically what we say here. Okay, class, a few things I want to check. Can you check for me what's the reference for this? Have different minds, they have a different appearance. The birds and the beasts, different mind have the different appearance. What is the original text? Mention this sentence.
GT.
What?
GT.
GT. GT stand for what? Can you check for me?
The Great Treatise of Sequence of Attaining Enlightenment.
Okay, the Great Treatise. Okay, I think supposed to be Great Treatise of what again?
The Great Treatise on the Sequence of Attaining Enlightenment.
Oh, Great Treatise 所以华中文是什么？它有写吗？没有哈 ，OK 哈 ，It's a sequence to become like oh I know it's supposed to be Lamrim 嘛，菩提道次第广论嘛。It says I suspect maybe it's from a Tibetan. The text is from Tibetan, right?
Tibetan.
From Tibetan, that's correct. So this sentence is very famous. Different mind have a different appearance. It's quite famous. This sentence. Then one more thing is about the Garuda. You see. Garuda, they're even better than the human class. Let's take a look. This is the Garuda. Garuda, Indonesia use Garuda as the symbol for the air flight, you see. So this is the Garuda. According to the legend, Garuda eat the dragon. Garuda is so big, then they're able to eat the dragon, you see. So dragon is their food. So that's why, it happens 1,000 years ago. The Garuda tried to prey on the dragon. So the dragon, they try to escape. And they fly to the place of Shakyamuni and asking the help from Shakyamuni. So Shakyamuni said, okay, so next time you please Garuda, don't eat the dragon. So for every chanting before the meal, I will ask my disciple, so we are the monk, they are going to feed you all. When you get full, please don't go to prey on the dragon. So this is reason why if class you go to join the offering in the temple, okay, so there will be one people, they put the stake and they'll put some rice on the stick and go up. So once they go out, they will start to say, okay, also they'll try to visualize, make the rice getting bigger by visualization power. Then in the heart, they will say that I use the food to feed all the Garuda. And that is the, this is the origin why we have to feed them. Okay, until now, all the Buddha devotee, once they go to do the chanting, they will do this procedure. There's a story behind this procedure. All right. Yeah, Junji, you have a question? Yes.
I'm just curious. There's a text saying that all the animals come from the ocean. Does it come from sutra or is from the author?
Oh, let me check first. I think it's from the science, right? Let me see first. Yes. Okay, because I remember according to the science, they say it's origin from the ocean. Animal appearance, let's see. Food, lifespan. Buddha Dharma are grouped into fruitless. Okay, as for dwelling, okay.
Yeah, the next sentence after that. Yeah, as for the dwelling, all animals originally live in the ocean and move to different places.
Originally live in the ocean. Later on, move from the place to a place. Some on the land, some onto the water. Not very clear. Because if from original text, they will be coded there.
Okay.
So because of the author himself, we do the extensive reading also. I think the author also read some science article also. So I think, remember, this is from the science of everything origin from the ocean. Okay.
All right, thanks.
Right. So this is about the animal. Okay. So class, basically, do you agree that that is the suffering of the animal for being prey and for being killed, especially the human. So all the destination will be quite miserable when they met the animals, when they met the human. Okay, next, now we go to the hungry ghost. Okay, Elena, can you please read it out? Hungry ghost.
Hungry ghosts always feel hungry and thirsty, and they use filth as food. In the three destinies, hungry ghosts, as is obvious from their name, are sentient beings who suffer from constant hunger and thirst. Hungry ghosts are different from ghosts of Chinese tradition, which people become after they die. According to the Buddha Dharma, there are three main groups of hungry ghosts: those with no wealth, those with a little, and those with much. Among those with no wealth are these three: the torch mouths or flaming mouths, for whom food and drink become flames when they are brought into the mouth; the needle mouth, those whose throats are so tiny that food cannot pass through; the vile mouths, whose mouths are so decomposed and smelly that they cannot ingest anything. Ghosts with a little wealth are able to eat small amount. These also are three kinds, named after the specific body characteristic: needle-like hair, stinking hair, and veins. Some of them, when they are about to eat, experience their food turning into pus and blood. Some of them eat filthy sputer, saliva, urine, feces, or swallow filth as food.
Okay, thank you so much. Yes, Kamling, can you please read the next paragraph?
The ghosts with great wealth, which have sumptuous enjoyments, are also of three subgroups: the ghosts of sacrifice, who live off the sacrifices offered by the human and are similar to spirits described in China; the ghosts of losses, who live off objects lost from the human world; and the ghosts of great powers, such as yaksas, raksasas, and so forth, who are the powerful rulers of ghosts. The ghosts of sacrifice and uses sometimes suffer from hunger and thirst, whereby the ghosts of great powers with pleasures close to those of divine beings. Among hungry ghosts, however, most have little or no wealth, extremely hungry.
Okay, thank you so much. Kamling, why so many children singing in your house?
And here, oh neighbor.
Oh, neighbor. Oh, they are singing or screaming, Okay, let's take a look at the hungry ghosts. class, basically we are not able to see the hungry ghosts, but our ritual we also take care with them also. So this is the feature of hungry ghosts. You see that with the big stomach, the fire in the mouth. The truth is not in the middle. Okay. According you see, so hungry ghosts. Sometimes from the hungry ghosts we see a monk. So this monk is the Mongalana, according to our sutra. Mongalana mothers were born as a hungry ghost. Okay. Mongalana, he is a filial piety. Mongalana is one of the best, one of the top 10 disciples during Buddha time. He famous for his psychic. Okay, so he asked Shakyamuni. Shakyamuni said that, oh, your mother have done a lot of bad deeds, so you can try to do the offering to the big group of the Sangha, and then the merit can transfer to him. So it happens, by doing this, besides this case, the Earth Store Treasury Bodhisattva Siddhikabha, Tizang Pusa also saying, for past many lives, his mother also become the hungry ghost. So he tried to save his mother also by do some chanting. Hungry ghosts are basically in our ritual. If you go to the temple before, especially if you join the evening service, we'll do some chanting to feed the hungry ghosts. We call it as the Mong San Shi Shi. Basically, since we don't have the psychic, but we can use the mantra. So the mantra, they've got a few mantras during the chanting. Number one, the mantra will try to open the throat. Second, the mantra will try to put out the fire in the mouth. And we use the mantra to visualize the water, to multiply the water volume and to multiply the food, then feed them. So that's why in July, if you go to join the ceremony, they will say that during they do the ceremony, please don't try to eat. Because the hungry ghosts we are not able to see them, but they are able to see us. They are able to see the food, but they are not able to eat it. Okay, whatever food that come to the mouth or become the ashes. So in order to pity over them, during the ceremony, we avoid eating the food and also drink the water. So this is quite relates to our religion's practice, especially the hungry ghosts. Okay, hungry ghosts, they got a different category. So this is the hungry ghost with the lowest level one. But the highest level one is the powerful hungry ghosts. Their joy is quite similar with us. They have plenty of food. They're never hungry. They even have the power. So sometimes once we go to the, remember in the previous lesson, we go, sometimes we met the medium. The medium claimed that they have been possessed by the Guan Yin or they're possessed by the different god. Basically, they are from the hungry ghosts. But the high level hungry ghosts, because the hungry ghosts with the high level, they got some psychic. Okay, so they can just help you to check your past life. Maybe the future life, something like that. Okay, so they got the power, but very limited. So this is the hungry ghost. And sometimes some hungry ghosts are, if let's say we try to transfer our merit, according to the Theravada, there's only one part of hungry ghosts are able to receive our transferation of the merit. So the rest hungry ghosts, they are not able to receive it. So so that's the reason why in July, once we do the ceremony, we go to the Chiuto Fatway, all this. So hungry ghost is one of the target for us to accrue the merit. Okay, so one of them. Second is the Antarabawa. Antarabawa means what? Means is the being, once they pass away, but they haven't, their next life destination haven't fixed yet. So they will become, an interval period. So we call it as Antarabawa. Okay. So during our July, we, these two types of the being involved for us, to do the rituals. Okay, besides this, in July also, especially for Chinese people, they believe that they have to feed, they call it as a Ho Hing Dai, good brother. Once they feed them properly, and then to get a blessing for the good business in the future. Am I right? Especially the businessmen, they are very kind or very generous at this time. They will do the donation. They will try to even have some stage show in order to let the hungry ghosts to watch to get the better business in the future. Okay, again, all this we are not able to see it. But don't play for. I mean for the food. Once you see people pray along the road, because I remember one youngster mentioned to me, he was once stepped on this because he doesn't believe it. He didn't believe it, so he stepped on the food which pray for the hungry ghosts. So later on, he got suffering. He got the disease and cannot cure. It's very difficult. So later on, he go to ask one medium. The medium said, you go to step on the food, so you make the hungry ghosts angry. So that causes you the trouble, you see. So I think maybe he have to, have to do a lot of chanting, have to become vegetarian, do a lot of merit, so that he will recover from the illness. So class basically don't play over them. Hungry ghost basically they stay together with our in the same realm. If they want us to see them, we are able to see them. Basically, we are able to see if they want to let us to see them, so they can just adjust the frequency to let us to see them. Again, not the third eye. For those who open third eye are able to see them. For those with the ghost eye are also able to see the hungry ghosts, the ghost eye. So, well, it seems quite common that people have a ghost eye, but they just keep mouth shut. Why? Because first, if you do open the ghost eye, they talk to you, you don't understand. Maybe you disbelieve them. Second, they will try to hide. Why? Because they will make people scary. What happened if I say, hey, at your back, I saw one lady with a very long hair, and then it looks pale, and the fingers so long. You get scared, right? Okay, so that's the reason why. What if you watch them since a childhood until the adult, you feel normal already. Even some people they hold their head and come to see you and say, let's go have a cup of coffee. You feel nothing already, right? Because you used to it. But if you talk to the people, they will get scary. Some even the ghosts will just follow the people. All these things you can able to see. You see, so that's why they keep their mouth shut. Okay, but when they met me, I don't know why. Maybe they think I can understand them. They would mention to me, and sometimes they don't want to cut themselves in trouble, especially so many ghosts go to look for them, to asking them to transfer merit for them. Okay, another thing is I remember one nurse mentioned to me. He said, he says quite surprisingly, he discovered that if the ghosts die on the bed, basically his area is just the bed. The ghosts are just able to wandering around the bed. He cannot go far, just somewhere there only, you see. So they say they are very pitiful. Okay, so that's why if you go to the hospital or the graveyard, you feel uncomfortable because they are surrounding you. Probably maybe a quite big percentage they are in the hungry ghost stage. So they are waiting the time to reincarnate. Okay, so that is the hungry ghost. So class, let's take a look. See, so all the picture regarding hungry ghosts, this is all at the low level of hungry ghosts according to the text. We got a different this. Yes, so class, if after MCO if possible, you can go to the temple and join the chanting, so to experience how the mantra helps to help the hungry ghosts. Is there anybody have tried the chanting before? Can you put up a hand? Let me see. Sally, Elena, Yukwa, Amanda. Amanda, you chant before Fang Mong San, right? Yeah, you try. So the rest haven't. So the rest haven't tried yet. So never mind. So next time I'll let you try. You do the chanting. Mr. Leo, Mrs. Leo, they're on the camera to show that the raise hand. Then they're off the camera again. Or they put down their hand. Okay, so this is the chanting. Okay, so we go to the next destination. Okay. Yeah, Sally, your turn to read the evil destiny.
The evil destinies come from three unwholesome roots that lead to evil deeds and their retribution. The three evil destinies discussed above all come from the three unwholesome roots of the afflictions. Evil deeds such as killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct, and their respective retribution. The desire, rant, greed, anger, and deviant views, ignorance are the three roots of unwholesomeness. Because of the propelling force of these afflictions, beings behave in all kinds of evil ways. Evil behavior becomes evil karma, which leads to the retribution of sufferings of the destiny. Killing, for example, may be caused by greed, as in murdering someone for money, or by anger, as in revenge or sudden rage, or by deviant views, such as in the non-Buddhist killing of cows and sheep as sacrifices for their gods, or the killing of pigs for festivals in Taiwan. Killing, stealing, and sexual misconduct are like all this. They may be caused by any of the three unwholesome roots. The most serious evil karma will result in retribution in the hell. The less serious will result in retribution as an animal. The least serious will lead one down the destiny of hungry ghosts. If one neither gives rise to deep afflictions or commits serious offenses, one will not fall into these three evil destinies.
Okay, so we digest this first. Okay, class, this is the rules, rules of universe, which is discovered by Shakyamuni. So through his observation, he noticed that if you commit the killing, stealing, sexual misconduct, lying, all this, so I mean the outcome for the next life will be born to the three evil destiny. Okay, for the three evil destiny, which is the hungry ghost, hell, animal, and hungry ghost. The most serious one will be to the hell. So the less serious ones will be the hungry ghost. Class, I think this is a little bit controversy. Basically, as we know, hell is the worst. Second worst is the hungry ghost. Okay, and I mean the slightest one should be the animal. Okay, but this text is just a different. I mean, they put the hungry ghost lighter, the karma of the hungry ghost lighter than the animal. So it seems that this is the controversy issue between the different schism, between the different school. Okay, anyway, so I think we agree that if you don't observe the 5 precepts well, basically that will be the consequence. So make sure that everybody from now onwards, you observe the 5 precepts well. So at least you must become a human in the next life. So now we're going to talk about the human. Okay, so maybe a little bit discussion, all right. So for human, what is the advantage? Okay, all right. Can you vote? Okay, if you vote that the joy in the human is greater than suffering is number 1. The suffering greater than the joy is number 2. Or you want to vote number 3 is equal. Okay, you can try to vote now. Okay, SJ, Elena same. Yeah, Yokwa same. Okay, so Seri same. Kwan San same. So Amanda, Yongsin, and Kamling a little bit different. So you mentioned maybe the joy will more than the suffering, and Junji abstain. All right. And then, oh, Mr. Lam, Mrs. Lam, they are frozen. So I don't know what are they voting for. Number 1. Okay. Yes. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Maybe Yokwa, can you mention what is the joy as a human being? What's the joy as a human being?
First thing, you can learn dharma. Then you can change your life. Second, I think it's more freedom compared to the evil realms. But if compared to the divine being, of course, we are in the middle, not in their above.
Okay. Yes. Okay. So what else the joy as a human being? SJ, you think? Not you think lah. You are the human one. What you think? You are the human. You know very well. Okay.
Same thing, the freedom, the ability to explore new things, the ability to think, to listen, to see, to hear.
Yeah. Hey, plus, do you agree that we are highly civilized animals? It seems that besides human, we never see any animal that once the invention of fire. I mean, after invention of fire, we as a human, we start using the plates, we start cook the food. Until now, we will try to cut the food with a knife, especially you all eat the steak, right? With a good ambience, with a comfortable environment, with the music. Even now, we never see the chimpanzee or a dolphin eat their meal with a highly civilized way. Is this correct? So I think this is partial of the one thing we see quite obvious why animals they are so supreme if compared with the other. Okay. So what else the suffering you can see from the human? Elena, what are the suffering you see from the human being?
Suffering. Birth and death.
What that
birth and death.
Birth and death is a sufferer. Yeah, quite sure. Yes. Okay. What else the suffering you can mention? How about Kamling? In hospital, you see human more suffering or more joy in the hospital? Kamling.
Illness.
You're suffering.
Illness and death. Well, a cycle of birth and death.
Hospital, a lot of suffering.
If once they pay the bill without insurance, I think they're great suffering, right? All right. So we see also suffering there.
Suffering.
Okay. Yes, Yongxin, you want to add in something? Regards, just now you want to say something regards the human, right?
Oh, I think it's like many times that human, we know how to compare, right? We are very intelligent. Yeah, and then there comes like we want more and want to be like equal to someone, but we cannot. And then that's the suffering that I see.
Again, sorry, I didn't get it.
It's like as a human, you know how to compare, and then you always want to go get better, right, and get more, right? But when you cannot have it, then you suffer.
Oh yeah, okay. You see, here there's a good and bad as a human. Number one, we have a target. We are ambitious, you see now. Okay, so we notice that once humans have ambitious, so finally we are able, to travel to the moon. You see, that is so high intelligence. But not only this, you see, class, according to our history of Buddhism, even though let's take a look. Okay, during begin from the 4th century, okay, Chinese men start to travel, China monk start to travel to India in order to get the sutra. So class, take a look. So a Chinaman that travel from Xi'an and come to the Indian, they cross the desert, you see or not? So there's got 3 monks who is so famous. Xuanzang is one of one of them, and he traveled 17 years just to go and come back, you see. So they had to cross the desert. So meaning to say that you must have a great ambition. Second, you must be determined, and able to endure all the suffering. They almost die, you know. Okay, three monks, Xuanzang, Faxian, Yijing, they are famous. But you know, they are famous, then they managed to come back. But they may, but the one who is not famous and die, maybe 3,000 and even more, because they are not able to come back. What? So they cannot be famous. So just only 3 people are able to come back. But also three people, they are able to endure the journey. All travel more than 10 years, just go and back, just to bring back the sutra. I mean, because they have ambitious and they can determine. So this is we see from the human. But of course, this type of determination and ambition, you can use it, you can misuse it. Okay, how do we say so? It's about this. The class. So this is the place which looks so beautiful. May I know who have been there before? Can you put up your hand? Okay, Yong Sin, and I also been there before. Class, you know or not? Some Buddhists, once they know the origin of the Taj Mahal, maybe they will refuse to go. Why? Because the Taj Mahal has been built by the king to commemorate and bury his wife. But in order to make the unit of the Taj Mahal, so the king slaughter, he tried to take out all the eye and also cut all the finger from all the construction worker, because in order to make the Taj Mahal become a unique. But anyway, we notice that he spent 20 years just to build the Taj Mahal. It's also a determination, right? Okay, so it seems that we can see this type of determination and the courageous, and also the endurance from the human, and we are so different from all the animal, and this is the value why human finally through cultivation got enlightened. Shakyamuni is the example. See or not? So far we never see the dolphin do the meditation, never, even though they are very smart. Even the killing whale also so smart, but they are not able to do this, but just a human, you see. But so in next lesson, we go to the text, and we notice that actually the suffering and also the joy in human realm are equal. Why? They are equal, and the suffering is become, really can become a drive for the human to reach their goal. Okay, and so as a human is good, because with the equal of suffering and joy, you enjoy the life. But at the same time, you also have the suffering, and it makes us try to, to pursue our spiritual journey. Okay, class. So that's the ending of the class. Today we do a little bit different. So I give you 2 minutes. You please close the book and close your eye. Just try to recall what have you learned for the whole lesson. Okay, you can start now. Okay, but if you come up with all the picture or all the sentence is incomplete, you can refer back your book. You can start now. Please try to do recapitulation in your mind now. 2 minutes.